Is that still in your head?
Still.
Good Lord.
Still.
It was in my head all last night.
It was weird because I've done nothing but think about Parasite. But like with that tune in my head.
That's crazy.
But this was...
Parasite...
This was really good.
Oh, it was really good. Something I liked... This was one of the more unique experiences I've had while watching a movie in a long time.
It was original.
Not only was when I say unique, the first 2/3 of this movie is like a comedy. It's like a kind of a dark comedy.
It's a dark comedy, and it's kind of cute.
Yeah, like, and it's not until you really start thinking,
because they're not doing anything horrible. Like it's not great what they're doing.
Well, when you think about it, the Kims, they're
con artists.
Yeah, they're kind of scumbags, but they're not really.
They call themselves con artists. They're con artists,
but they're not like necessarily being malicious at any
No,
point.
they are.
The only thing they were malicious about was
getting other people
fired.
But yeah, they were hard workers. I mean,
But that's anyway. I'll get back to that.
None of them. There was a big thing. Like none of them went to school.
Yeah.
None of they
were a close knit family.
Yeah.
Like they did everything for the family. But when it is such a tonal shift in this movie.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about what the shift is.
No, I won't. But it was just like it goes from you're laughing to like, oh my god.
And you're not like, it's not like laugh out loud. Like, well, I mean it is. But you chuckle. It's a lot of moments where you're like, oh my goodness.
It's pretty lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa, what's happening? And then the scene after that reveal is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And that whole scene, that's the scene that I took away from this movie being like, that scene was masterful. With them scattering around like cockroaches. Because remember they were like referenced to as cockroaches.
Yeah.
And they were like scattering around trying to get everything in line. Oh, it was wild. Oh my god. Yeah, like that was where the movie went from really good to, in my opinion, like great.
Yeah.
You know? Going back to what you said about being kind of them being like hard workers, and that's kind of at the end, not to quite reveal anything, he's talking about, the son's talking about how he's going to work hard and he's going to go to university, going to get a high-paying job so he can do something to help out the father. And that's what I took away from the movie was like, if they had really focused on working hard in a certain area, they probably could do all that. But they can't. And that's kind of the point of the movie at the end, which is like, it would take, in no world would he be able to accomplish what he's promising his father.
Yeah.
You know? God, this movie, I mean, where can we really just begin? I mean, the story itself was so wild. How it starts.
I will say, the director of this movie has a thing for like class.
Yeah, which, because he did Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Now Snowpiercer wasn't an original story.
No, but it was about a class. Like
it was a class system.
Yeah,
and this
on a train. Yeah,
this is very much the same way, where it's you know it's such a disparity between where they were like living in the basement of basically like
the slums.
Yes.
And they were literally in the basement of the slums. And then
the son just total happenstance.
Yeah.
Walks into this opportunity, and he sees an opportunity to get every member of his family this job. A job working for this really rich family.
Yeah, very wealthy.
And it's just because every person's like, you know, I have someone that could do that, and they're all fabricating like their experiences of doing things, and that was just, as that's going on, you're like, God, how are they just going to keep getting away with this? And at a certain point, you're like, they do.
Yeah,
they pulled it off.
Yeah,
and which goes back into that scene with they're all eating dinner in the rich family's house, the Parks house.
Yeah, they did it.
Oh my God.
They succeeded. It was torn apart by other people like them.
Yeah, that's very true. But that's what also added to that reveal being like, whoa, like they weren't the first to kind of do this.
Yeah.
And also something that it's oh man, like I can't. If we're not giving spoilers. It's really hard.
Yeah, we don't need to give spoilers for this movie. People need to see this movie.
They do really need to see this
There's
movie.
a good chance this movie wins Best Picture.
I don't think it'll win Best Picture. It should. I think it'll win Best Foreign Language Film, like easily. I mean,
there's without a doubt it's going to get nominated, Sean.
I wouldn't say without a doubt. I mean, you'd be kind of surprised. I think it should. I think he should be nominated for Best Director.
There's some beautiful shots.
Dude, he's fantastic. He is so good. First of all, everything looks awesome. Everything's crisp. It's clean. And then he can with the Rich family, everything is so like you said, kind of gorgeous and beautiful. And then he can really do the gritty, grimy stuff really well. Well.
That was the first thing I said to you walking out of the theater I was like, God, he does that grimy feel. He makes you feel grimy so well. And he did it in Snowpiercer, and you're just like,
he just does an amazing job. I told you my personal favorite movie of his is a movie called Memories of a Murder, and it's a police procedural type movie. It's excellent. I mean, it rivals Zodiac in my opinion for that type of movie. And but that's my point. It's just like every movie this guy makes is good. They're good. And this is, I would argue,
I was very hesitant to go. I don't do subtitled movies.
Well, that was kind of honestly before seeing. We ordered our tickets, and because you've had a past with dyslexia, and that's kind of why you avoid subtitled movies.
Well, and I can do subtitled movies, but I usually like to do it at home because if I miss something, like I can watch it on my own.
We ordered tickets, and you were like, it was kind of. I felt kind of bad because you were like, I hope I can follow. And I was like, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And there was a certain point halfway through the movie, I noticed you were like really watching. I was like, oh, he's doing fine.
Yeah.
So
and it is. I mean, there's still a lot of reading, and I'm gonna want to watch it again so I can focus.
Because of the reveal, this is a movie you have to see twice.
Yeah.
Because that goes back to my point. There's lines that are dropped, and to not give too much away. Remember the Mr. Park, the rich father?
Yeah.
He's talking about the housekeeper. She's like, she always ate enough for two.
Yeah.
There's stuff like that where you're like, whoa. Like looking back, you're like, it was like right there in front of your face. You just blew past it because you're like, oh, okay. Like they're making fun.
I wanted to see like the light flickering. I want to go back and see like if it's flickering and all.
Because it's only brought up at the end or the last act.
Yeah.
And you're right. Like I do want to go back and see like, is he constantly?
There's a couple times where you see the housekeeper and she's walking like down into the basement. Like I want to see what she has in her hand in the basement and stuff. There's just certain things, but
what you were talking about as far as this guy has a thing for class and as far as the class system, it's the major theme of the movie.
Yeah,
is about how. Because this family, they start to feel like they are a part because they're putting
that being said, in terms of how we both really enjoyed this. This is a very good movie. You don't really like anyone in this movie, and that's the reason I kind of liked. I enjoyed the first 2/3, while the back half it's great in terms of how it all comes back and the twists and turns that it takes. But the first portion is. So I liked it so much because while you didn't like anyone, there was enough comedy to kind of like keep you going. And then once it all happens, once stuff starts snowballing,
it's no longer funny.
Yeah,
and I agree. That being said, as far as the final act of the movie, especially the climax of the movie, with all that happens. You're sitting there and you have to take a step back and you realize these are not people that you really like because they are scumbags. But because they're the protagonists and you actually do have like a heart for them because you've seen what they've kind of gone through, you start to think, I don't like the rich family. But in actuality, because they have no idea what's going on, they aren't they're not bad people.
No.
You know, the things that, as far as what
makes them bad people,
is just how they kind of look down on.
Yeah, people. And even then, it wasn't like there's a moment at the end where he's talking to him as a friend. He's talking to the dad as a friend, and the dad says something, and he was like,
"You're getting paid extra."
He's like, "I want you to." He goes, "I just want you to know you're going to get paid extra."
He's looking at him like he's just the help, and and at that point and see, that's why it's such a complex feeling that you have, because
the way the dad says it is almost, I took it as, it was kind of like, I know this is kind of childish, I know this is, but it's like, just so you know, like, I don't want you to feel like he didn't want him to feel like he was taking advantage of the situation, and he wanted him to, like, you could tell the dad almost asking him to do it as kind of like a friend type deal, and then when the father of the Kims, I'm talking about the Park dad.
Yes, the Park's dad is sitting there. Mr. Park is talking about, like, don't worry, like, you're going to be getting paid extra for this.
Yeah, because of the Kim's dad reaction to it all.
Yeah.
It was kind of, he had this look on his face like, why am I here? Now, he had that look because of everything that happened and going on, and they were going through a lot. But there was like a moment of silence, and the Park father was like, he's like, hey, don't worry, I'll pay you extra.
Right.
Like, because he was genuinely like, maybe he doesn't want to be doing this.
Right. And he understood why he wouldn't want to, because what they were doing was like...
It was childish.
Yeah, it was like a childish... they were basically putting on a birthday party for their...
Yeah, and it was a charade.
They were dressing up as Indians.
Yeah, Native Americans.
Or Native American, correct. And it's... As far as the climax, as far as what happens after that, it's a snowball effect, because when you first watch it, you think, what Mr. Kim does is a complete overreaction. And in my opinion, when you really look back, it was a bunch of tiny things that clearly were getting to him.
Yeah,
and it was that final bit of... Yeah, we can't dive into it because it's just, just so much shit happens. But it was how they were asking him to drive him to, like, the hospital. Meanwhile, he has a family member that's also struggling, and he like can't deal with that. And it was like something that if that randomly had just happened, he probably would have reacted completely different. But it's because of what he had just gone through over the course of the past night.
Yeah.
Was just wild. And the other thing is, we were talking about, the only things that the Parks were doing that seemed bad, when you look back, everything that they said that was kind of mean was when they thought they were in the privacy of their own, not only own home, but like in their own room. They were having a one-on-one conversation. They didn't know that they were in the room. At no
point were they like derogatory. They were always like, we really like them, but there is a funny smell to them.
They kept saying that they just smell odd, and it's because they were saying it's like old man smell. What they didn't know was that they live in the slums, and it's like, their place kept getting like pesticides in there, and which they accepted because it was
they were cleaning the bugs out.
They were cleaning the bugs out. That's my point, is that like it was just it was little things like that really started to get to the father. And looking back, I don't think it was. I think that was actually a pretty realistic reaction as far as what happened.
Yeah.
This movie though, I don't think there's anything. There's nothing I can really complain about it.
No.
The story is awesome, both parts. The dialogue, first part is funny. Then it's so. When I say there's a tonal shift, it's not like, oh wow. It goes from like it's funny to so tense.
Yeah.
And that's where you have to look at
it
this.
It goes from like dark comedy to like just thriller, and there's moments where you think, is this going to go horror? But it never does. It's never that.
There's one scene that actually did creep me out, which is where the Mrs. Park is telling
and you
Mrs.
see what
Kim,
the boy sees.
You saw what the boy saw, and did you notice all the boys' paintings?
Mm-hmm.
It was that face.
Yeah.
And that, when
it gives you chills.
Yeah, to me, that's creepy.
That's stuck.
That's a bit of horror.
Yeah, but it's stuck with that poor little boy.
Yeah.
And those kids, like, that was the thing, was like, even though the rich family was like, I don't want to say nobody was bad.
But that's what's so crazy about this movie, is it's simultaneously there's people you don't like, and you don't really love or like any character, but they're also not any of them are not bad people.
Yeah,
like
they're trying to like the lower income people are just trying to take care of themselves.
They're trying to survive.
Yeah.
And the rich people
are just trying to take care of their family.
Yeah.
Like they're just trying to do what's best.
No one is, like I said, no one's doing anything super malicious except for at the beginning with the Kims just trying. They would make up stories about the driver or the housekeeper to get them fired. But at that point, you're thinking they're just surviving.
Yeah,
they see an opportunity.
There's also conversation later where they talk about, I hope they're doing okay. Yeah, because it's like they didn't, they don't want to do that, but that's how they looked at, like, that's what they had to do to survive. And it's a great movie. What do you give this movie?
Oh, this is an A.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry, and the more I've thought about it, I kept thinking, do I like this or The Lighthouse as far as best movie of the year?
This is better than Lighthouse.
See, the more I've thought about it, I think, you know what this movie is?
The acting might be better than Lighthouse, and I really like the aesthetic of the Lighthouse.
I do too.
But as a whole,
this movie is better. It's I think it is. I think it's the best movie of the year.
Yeah.
Like, and when I walked out of the theater, I was like, I don't know. But just the more you think about it, and there's just so much that goes into the movie, on top of it being a masterfully made movie, and then it's these combining of genres that work so effectively. It's just...
it's good.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's an A, and it's, in my opinion, like I said, it's the best thing we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And I slept on, because I walked out of the theater and I was like, it's good, but I don't know how great it was. I slept on it, and I have done nothing but think about this movie with the soundtrack of Frozen, like, just for 24 hours straight.
What conflicting feelings.
I know. As I see the woman falling down the stairs.
That was nuts, too.
Yeah.
Because that's all part. That was my favorite.
That's not the scene I think of. I think of them hiding under the table while the family's on the husband and wife are on the couch, and the teepee's lit up.
Yes.
And I hear it, and then with the Frozen soundtrack. That's like what I've.
So obviously we give this both A's. What to you was your favorite scene or sequence in this movie?
I don't have one.
You just think the whole movie... See, I'm kind of in agreement there, but for me, it truly is... They're all having the moment the housekeeper rings that doorbell.
Yeah.
And they go down in the basement. That all happens. Then it's about a 15-minute sequence. What? Hello?
She says, we got to stop.
It's about a 15-minute sequence, and then the family is coming back home, and they're cleaning everything up, and it's just a wild sequence.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably my second favorite sequence of the year behind... Bailey, what is going on?
She's gonna come see me.
It's my second favorite sequence behind the final end of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's great. But see, to me, there's another one. I think the last act, the Joker is up there too.
That's fair. That is fair, but this movie was... Parasite was awesome.
Go see it, guys.
Go see it. Bong Joon-Ho is the director, and I believe he co-wrote it. This guy, and the production company is Neon Production. They've announced that they're going to be producing basically like 4 movies a year, and it's not the director, but it's just that company. And the budget it's going to be between like $25 and $50 million.
Yeah.
They're basically kind of taking over that like Weinstein
that
company
middle market.
It's not. Yes, it's that middle market, and it's like if they're going to continue to put out products like this, I cannot wait. And I can't. This guy, he's never disappointed me. I hope, honestly, he should win Best Director at the Oscars. And I know award shows are kind of BS sometimes, but I mean, this was the best made movie of the year. This or The Lighthouse, but this...
See, to me, I still would say The Lighthouse is the best made.
I don't know, man.
Overall...
Think about Parasite.
Parasite's great. And there's some great shots in it, and it's great. But the way the lighthouse is shot.
The White House was unique looking.
Yeah, but
Parasite was a unique movie as a whole.
Oh yeah, and it's much more enjoyable. And even though it's not like an uplifting movie or anything by any means, you still watch it and you are stuck thinking about it and you enjoy what you watch.
Yes. Well, it goes back to, and it's what people complain about nowadays, which is like there is just such a lack of original movies.
This is original.
This is so original, and it's in the sense that it's why you should go see it in theater. You are on the edge of your seat the whole time because you truly do not know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
With superhero movies or comedies or romantic comedies or action movies, there is a formula, and you can kind of pinpoint what's going to happen. This, because there's so many genres involved, and it's just such an original story, you just don't have any idea.
This is just, it's great movie making.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
It's everything that you want from a filmmaker and a film. And it's excellent. It's an A. I think this is the best movie of the year so far. Mm-hmm. You know, I am looking forward to Uncut Gems. That's the one I'm pumped for. In 1917.
And Knives Out.
And Knives Out, yeah. Which is, it's coming up this weekend. But so far, this movie is my favorite of the year. Or best of the year.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, man, what a movie. God. Kyle. Check you later.